this week watch as Sam and Mark, completely unprepared, take on rampant rhinos. The Royal King Cobra. Bloodthirsty vampire bats. And avalanches that will chill you to the bone. Welcome to Sam and Mark's Guide to Dodging Disaster. Okay, boys, how about this week we start by going on safari? What do you mean, no? People travel from all over the world to go on safari. Flamingos, wildebeest, zebras, you name it. Plus, you get to ride in a jeep. So fancy a trip to Africa? Isn't this great, just driving around, enjoying the magnificent scenery? Until you come to a rather unusual roadblock, that is.
Roadblock? How rude.
What do you do now? Yep, you could reverse out of the situation. What's the rush? You're a big, strong metal box, aren't you? So, instead of dashing off in a panic, why not take this moment of calm? I said calm. To learn about these wonderful creatures.
That's a good idea. Listen to the man.
For instance, did you know that they were vegetarians? Yeah, they eat grass, leaves, buds and bushes. Not humans, so you don't have to worry about them attacking you to satisfy their hunger. Just their anger. Yep, rhinos have a reputation for getting pretty grumpy around humans. Especially black rhinos. But that's the problem. Black rhinos and white rhinos aren't as easy to tell apart as you might think. For instance, the black rhino isn't actually black at all, but is in fact the same colour as the white rhino, which is actually not white at all, but grey, but called white because white means wide in the Afrikaans language. And the white rhino has a wide, square muzzle, unlike the black rhino, which has a longer, pointier muzzle, but isn't black. So, with that perfectly understood, you should now be able to work out what those ones are in front of you. Black or white? Come on, boys, concentrate. Your lives could depend on this. Luckily for you, they're white rhinos, which, like I said, tend to be the less aggressive of the two. But unluckily for you, one has her calf with her, so she'll be more defensive than usual. Plus, white rhinos tend to be much bigger than black rhinos and hang around in herds. Although a group of rhinos isn't actually called a herd, by the way. It's actually called a crash. Which is, strangely enough, exactly the sound they make when they hit a jeep at 45 kilometers an hour. Well done, boys. You made it out of the jeep in one piece. But I think the rhinos might still be nearby. Fortunately, though, they have very poor eyesight, so if you just stay away from them and don't make any sudden movements, they probably won't see you. But they do have very good hearing and an excellent sense of smell. So woe betide if you're downwind.
What was that?
Quick! Get yourself up a tree, fast! On the other hand, the last thing you want is a 2-foot rhino horn up your bum. So if you don't think you're going to make it up a tree in time, then don't even start climbing. Instead, try to get behind a tree and hide. But maybe a slightly wider tree, Sam. Of course, if there is no tree, then you have to think again. In which case, now is the time to stand your ground and start shouting. No, not to attract him, to put him off. But why he should be put off, I have no idea. So maybe act like a bullfighter instead. And get ready to step to one side. As you aren't on the end of his horn being carried off into the distance, then you can probably relax now, Sam. Because once a rhino charges, he rarely turns round for seconds. Though, of course, rarely doesn't mean never. And rhinos are surprisingly agile animals. Especially those black rhinos over there. Wow, nice climbing. But don't forget to make sure the tree's strong enough. Gosh, boys, you're braver than I thought. Ride 'em, cowboys! Yee-haw! Ride 'em! So to recap, if you should find yourself staring down the nose of a rhino, 1. Climb a tree. 2. Hide behind a tree. Or 3. Become a tree. Sorry guys, I didn't realise you weren't riding the rhino on purpose. Honestly, I thought you were just being amazingly daring. Look, I said I'm sorry. And anyhow, at least on the rhino, you didn't have to worry about snakes. No, don't worry. The only poisonous snake here in the UK is the adder, and that can't kill an adult. Or a couple of big babies, for that matter. Of course, if you go to India, that would be a completely different kettle of snakes entirely. India, the land of temples, tigers, rainforests, great big snakes. Luckily though, those are just rubber ones to keep you on your toes. Because the last thing you want to do when walking through the forest is stumble across a venomous snake. Not a poisonous snake, mind you, a venomous snake. Venom is injected by a snake's fangs, for instance, while poison is usually inhaled or swallowed. So unless you plan on eating the snake you stumble across, or somehow inhaling it, then you'll want to know whether it's venomous, not poisonous. The problem is, there's no surefire way of knowing which snakes are venomous, so best to avoid them all. You could be like a silent ninja and hope that snakes don't hear you coming. But better still would be to advertise your presence so they can get out of your way. No, not presents. Presents with a C. C. No, not that kind of C. Oh, forget it. Just let the snakes know you're coming so they can get out of your way. Jump around, move, make a noise. Perfect. That way you send vibrations into the ground, which snakes can feel with their bellies and respond to by getting out of your way. Also, the smellier you are, the better. Thanks to their flickering forked tongues, snakes have an excellent sense of smell and can tell if prey is nearby.
Even when I've got a cold.
All of which helps to give the king cobra time to get out of your way. What? Did I not mention this was the home to the king cobra, the biggest venomous snake in the world? Oh well, not to worry. The king cobra only eats other snakes. Like this 2-meter rat snake, for instance. But like I said, it doesn't eat humans. But what happens if you've just made a terrible mistake and instead of spraying on smell, you actually sprayed on smell of rat snake? Yes, you could become paralyzed with fear and hope that one doesn't see you. But king cobras have excellent vision, which they use when high up in the trees to spot the yummy rat snakes moving about below. And just because king cobras eat snakes, even venomous ones, that doesn't mean they wouldn't attack a human if they feel threatened. Like this one with his hood up. So I guess you're wondering what to do, eh? Well, some people believe in the power of charmers. No, not that kind of charmer, Mark. You know, snake charmers with flutes. Like in India, so Indian flutes. Yes, that's better, Sam. Some people believe they can hypnotize cobras with music. But they're probably wrong, since snakes don't have ears and can't actually hear what you're playing. Lucky them. Uh-oh, this could be serious, Sam. It may not have the strongest venom in the world, but thanks to its size, it can inject a lot more into you. And a single bite can kill a full-grown elephant. So what are you going to do? Well done, Mark. You should never suck out the venom. You might have a cut in your mouth, and the venom could go straight into your own bloodstream. Plus, Sam's feet are really smelly. Instead, use tight bandages to keep the venom from spreading around his body. No. No, the tight bandages are just supposed to be around the bite, Mark. Then get to a hospital quick, making sure that the bandage stays on. Otherwise, the poison will be free to zoom around your body and you'll soon feel severe pain. Blurred vision. vertigo, and drowsiness. After that, the victim falls into a coma and dies. Luckily though, king cobras don't inject venom every time they bite. So that's good news, eh guys? Huh? Guys? So to recap, if you should meet a king cobra while walking in the jungle, 1. Do not be a silent ninja. 2. Do not try to hypnotize it. And 3. Dance around, make noise, express yourselves! Okay guys, you've been so good this week. How about some well-earned time off? Great. So what would you like to do? Elephant trekking? Lion safari? Skiing? But there aren't any animals at the top of mountains, let alone deadly ones. Oh, fine. Whatever. Go ski down your silly mountain then, see if I care. That's right, have fun. Forget about all the deadly animals you could be meeting. But don't forget one thing. Avalanche! No, not have a lunch. Avalanche! I didn't say there was an avalanche, I just said don't forget about them. After all you need for an avalanche is some snow and a slope for it to tumble down. You see, when snow falls, the snowflakes, or snow crystals as they really are, form different layers on the ground according to the temperature of the air or ground. So if the different layers stick together, then all is good and the snow won't slide. But if the bonds between the crystals begin to break, then the snow begins to slip. But what might make it slip? Well, rain can weaken the bonds in the snow and make it heavier. While sun, followed by a light rain, can produce a thin surface crust, which can make it difficult for new snow to bond with the old snow beneath it. But still, that doesn't mean there's going to be an avalanche. No. For an avalanche, you need a trigger. Like wind, for instance. Not that kind of wind, Sam. Winds of only 25 kilometers an hour can rapidly increase the chance of an avalanche. But avalanches can also be caused by a change in temperature, the weight of a person, or two persons, or vibrations. Like dynamite, for instance. That's right, boys! Yell! Let people know where you are and try to move to the side of the avalanche. Avalanches move fastest and thickest near the center, so the further you can get towards the side, the better. And if you can't get out of the way, then start getting rid of stuff. Let go of ski poles, backpacks, anything that might drag you under the snow. Then try to grab onto something, a boulder, a tree, anything. Apart from each other. And don't tumble so much, boys. You're much denser than snow and you'll sink unless you keep near the surface. So try to swim in it. But don't stop listening to me, because as soon as you come to a halt, you'll have about 3 seconds before the snow sets hard around you. So now, quickly, try to make some breathing space in front of your face. And take a big breath in and hold it. Otherwise, you won't be able to breathe in when the snow sets. Well done. You've got enough air to survive for a while. But meanwhile, you may not even know which way is up. So what you have to do is dribble and see which way the saliva goes. If it goes up your nose, then you'll know you're upside down. Or yes, you could cry like a baby, Mark, and see which way your tears go. But I wouldn't get too carried away. After all, if you can move your legs, then you're probably not as deep as you thought. Watch out for snowballs. Now, that's not funny, is it, guys? Guys? So to recap, if you get caught in an avalanche, 1. Scream at the top of your lungs. 2. Try to move out the way. 3. Swim for it. And 4. Dribble. So, pretty long day, eh? What with avalanches and rhinos and king cobras to deal with. So what do you want to do to unwind? Sunbathe with scorpions? Relax with orangutans? Hang loose with harpy eagles? Sleep? What, with scorpions? What, just sleep? Okay, fine, if that's what you want to do. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. But,
Watch out for the vampires.
not those kinds of vampires, you wallies. Vampire bats. What, you don't believe in vampire bats? Well, I'll have you know that vampire bats are real. And they feed on blood. Though, of course, they don't live in Britain. No, they live in South America. In fact, not far from where you're sleeping. Thought that might wake you up. But don't worry, boys. Vampire bats usually live in old wells, hollow trees, caves. Places that are almost completely dark. Not like this lovely lighthouse. But when darkness falls, they leave their homes and come out in search of blood.
I said blood.
That's better. Now, where was I? Oh, yes. Flying silently through the darkness, the hungry bats navigate by giving off low-energy sound pulses that humans can't hear, but which echo back off their surroundings to give them an amazingly accurate picture of the world around them. Meanwhile, using another part of their brain, they're able to listen out for the regular breathing of sleeping animals like cows, monkeys, and even humans. Just so long as you don't fall asleep, you should be fine, eh, boys? Boys. Oh dear. What a shame. But anyhow, once the ravenous, bloodthirsty vampire bats have located their supper, a sleeping, intrepid explorer's foot, for instance, it lands and approaches, looking very strange indeed. Then it uses the infrared sensors in its nose to find a nice warm spot on its victim where the blood flows close to the skin, and cuts into it with its super sharp front teeth before injecting in its own saliva. Why? Because unlike Sam's saliva, a vampire bat's saliva has a special painkiller in it, so its victim doesn't get too disturbed by what's going on and kick it away. Isn't that right, Sam? Not only that, but the vampire bat saliva also has a special ingredient in it called draculin. Yeah, that's what I said.
Draculin.
That stops its victim's blood from drying up. In fact, it's so good that vampire bats don't have to suck their victim's blood at all. Just lap it up like a cat. Though obviously, a particularly bloodthirsty one. Luckily, these bats only weigh about 40 grams, so there's a limit to how much they can drink. But still, they could conceivably drink your blood while you were sleeping, and you wouldn't notice a thing. Isn't that right, Mark?
Sleep well, boys. See you next week.
CBBC invites you to access all areas with the best shows this Easter.
It's gonna be chilly. I mean, cool.
Fantastico.
Ready? Always. Access all areas this Easter with AAA TV from CBBC. Starts Saturday.